What is up, guys? We're back with our second tutorial in our RPG series. Now today we're going to go over HUDs. Now we're not going to go over anything like changing the values and shapes and all that. We'll go over that in a future video when we do things like damage applications and EXP and all that. But today we're just going to simply get it onto the viewport so that we can see it and have them RPG ready. So the first thing we want to do is I have my third person blueprint open, and what we want to do is we want to create a new folder. We'll create it right inside the content. We're just going to name this UI. You can name whatever you want. It can be HUDs, it can be widgets, whatever. But inside of the UI folder that we just made, we want to make a widget. It's right under right click, user interface, widget blueprint. And I'm just going to name it gaming HUD. This is my main HUD. This is my only HUD. You're probably going to have more than one, but for me it's just that. I'm going to open it up. Okay, so I want to move this over here. There we go. Now inside the third person character blueprint, we're going to make two variables. I just made two. Now, as you can see here, all I did was just click on the plus sign and make two variables. I'm going to name them. To name them, you can click it, and it's probably F2 to change it. Or you can just go over here and change it from over here. So I'm going to name one of these health. So one of them is called health, and the other one is going to be called mana. Now I have health and mana. And I make sure they're both floats. They're both floats. That's the first thing we want. Now, inside of our game HUD, there's this big old thing right here. It's set to default to 720 by 1280. 1280 by 720 HD. You can save it to different things, but we're just going to leave it at 720. Now, in these palettes, this palette is going to tell us different things we can do. We have containers, which are panels, and then common things that you put inside of the panels. We have inputs and all that, but we're just going to mostly just work with panels and commons. So we're going to make a couple of progress bars. But before we do that, I'm going to bring in the vertical box. You know what? I lied. I'm going to bring in a horizontal box. In fact, make that two horizontal boxes. Just going to put them right here. Inside of those horizontal boxes, we want to put in our progress bars. Now, these progress bars are going to be used for our health bar and our mana bar. So I'm going to drag one right on top of one horizontal box, and the other, I can just duplicate them if I want to, but I'm just going to drag them. There. There we go. Now we have two. One's going to be our health, one's going to be our mana. Now you can change these to different colors. Right here it says fill in color and appearance. I'm going to make this one green. And then the other one, it's going to be blue. You can't see anything. That's because your percentage is set to 0. Once you press 1, it changes color. See that? But as you can see, we don't see it fully all the way. We have this empty box and then this little rectangle just sitting there. So I'm going to expand this. I'm going to make let's make it this like 200. 250. Then I'm just going to make the other 250. But it's still sitting there. The progress bar is still sitting there. And that's because right now it's set to auto. if you change the field, now we're on the progress bar. If you change the progress bar to field, it'll fill the entire space that's contained in. So we want to do the same thing for that. Field. Now the very next thing we want to do is we want to take these progress bars and we want to bind them. We want to bind the percentage, not the color, the percentage. So we're going to click bind. We're going to create a brand new binding. This binding could be named anything, but we're not going to worry about naming it for now. For now, the first thing we want to do is we're going to get player controller. No, we want get player character. So we're going to get player character, and we want to do something with this. What do we want to do? We want to add it to the character. So we're going to say cast to third person character. We want that percentage to cast to the character. So we're saying, hey, values, go to the character. And we want to drag this off as the third person character. What are we going to do as the third person character? Well, we want to get the health that we made, right? So let's just type it. Get health. It's already there. We made that variable in the third person character blueprint. Now, most health values, they range from 100. When we looked at the percentage, it only went to 1. So let's do that. We want the percentage to divide by 100. So we're just going to hit the division sign. It's going to say float divided by float. We're going to say 100. Just like that. And we're going to plug it right into the return value and make sure it's all connected. Just like that. Now, we are going to do the same thing for the other progress bar. We're going to make sure we bind it, create a brand new binding. See that goof there. And we want to get player character. Aha! Get player character. Let's move this a little further in. Same thing. Cast third person character. Make sure we connect these executables there. We want to get mana. Made it already. Same thing, we're just going to make it a value of 100%. So divide float by float. Type in 100. There we are. Now to add it to the viewport, we're going to do something a little different. First off, if you press in an empty space the C button, it brings up a comment. That's just so we can keep everything organized. You can see where they are. And we're just going to say add HUD to view. It's nothing. It's just so I can know that this is the area where I'm adding the HUD. So let's see here. What do we want? We want an event to happen. So we're going to say in the beginning. So event begin. When it plays in the beginning, we want it to do something. And we have to tell what we want it to do. So what I want this to do is I want to say, hey, in the beginning, I want you guys to create a widget. There it is right there, create widget. It's like, well, what widget do you want to create? We want to create the gaming HUD we just made. So we see here we click on the drop down where it says class, gaming HUD. It's like, well, what do you want to do with the gaming HUD? Well, we want to add to the viewport. That's what we want to do. It's like that. Make sure this return value is in there as well. Now, if we go right here now, it should probably already work. That works just like that. Now, to set the health and everything, it's something a little bit different, but it's not complicated. All you have to do is set it. Not hard. Set. We want to set up both of them. We can add them both together too. It's not very hard. All you do is execute. We want to execute them both at the same time, so I'm going to put them both. Add them both together and execute it there. Right here, we're going to set it to 100%. It's already 100%. I want to change my default value too, but I don't really think it matters. I'm going to change it both anyway. In fact, I'm going to make the mana like 150. Just so the mana can have a little bit more substance to it. And just like that, we have added our brand new HUD to the viewport. We have changed the values, we set it up, everything is clean, everything is simple. And now whenever you want, you can add artwork and different things all to your viewport and your progression bars that you just made. Didn't take very long, and now it's completely customizable and clean. As you can see, we have it. Our blue and green is showing up, as we did earlier, because our values are set to the viewport. It's all you had to do, and now you can customize it however you want to. You can change the artwork, which is as simple as just going into the HUD, going back to the Designer tab, and when you click on the Progress bar, you can do things like add different arts, change colors. Inside the style, this is where you add the background, change the background, make the images, stuff like that. It's really, really simple. Very simple to do. And we will actually go over those in future videos. So stay tuned. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe. And look forward to our very next video in our RPG series.